Good evening, saints of God. Good evening, friends, and good evening, everyone that's here looking at this video. I want you to think about something that is very profound. For 1 second, I want you to listen to this short message. I want you to understand this. Jesus is called the bridegroom for a reason. The position of a groom is the relationship, and the position of a husband is the relationship that Jesus describes he has to the church, which is his bride. Okay? In John 15, verse 1, Jesus says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Okay? Husbandman. All right, another analogy. In the book of Matthew, the 25th chapter, the parable of the 10 virgins. And there were 5 that were foolish and 5 that were wise. Okay? So, and it says, keep oil in your lamp, for who knows when the bridegroom cometh. So, everything that Jesus spoke of, every analogy that he made was speaking about a wife being prepared for a groom. Also, if you look in the beginning, when God made Adam, and when God formed Eve from the rib of Adam, God gave Adam the commandments. Adam had named all the creatures of the earth before Eve even got here, before Eve was even created. And he gave Adam the commandment of what to do. So, man was not made for a woman. A woman was made for a man. I'm going to tell you something that is going to be something you may have never heard. And I have never heard. But I've been in such meditations with God, and I've been in the holy place with God for so many days. I've been fasting and praying for so long. I've seen things that I have never seen before. Try this on for size. When Moses asked God to see his glory, and God said that no man could see his glory and live, but he showed Moses his hind parts. Do you know why God didn't show Moses his glory? Because in order for Moses to see God's glory, Moses only needed to look in the mirror. The glory of God in the earth is a man. A man's glory in the earth is a woman. I'm going to say that again. The glory of God and the closest thing to God in this earth is a man. And the closest thing to man in this earth and the glory of a man is a woman. Now, the last analogy that I want to give you, and I want you to reach your own conclusions after listening to this message, is the holiest of holies. Now, in the tabernacle, there are many artifacts in the tabernacle. Okay? And then, there is the outer court, there's the inner court, there is the altar of incense, and all these other different artifacts. But we're going to go into the holiest of holies. In the holiest of holies, there was an artifact called the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was the holiest artifact in the tabernacle because it was where the glory of God was contained. Okay? And the ark was comprised, the box itself was made of acacia wood, which was the most extraordinary and extravagant wood and expensive wood that existed. Then the ark was pitched inside with tar. Okay? Then on the outside of the ark, it was cast and covered with gold. Okay? And it was gold that had been imprinted with special work in the gold. Okay? And the lid which was covered in gold, it had 2 cherubim facing one another on either end of the lid, and their wings came towards one another and touched one another. Okay? Now, this Ark of the Covenant, inside, it contained 3 artifacts, which were the tables of stone of the commandments of God, Aaron's budding rod, okay, and the showbread, or a bowl of manna, which was a heavenly food that God rained down from heaven. Okay? Those were the 3 things that were contained inside of the Ark of the Covenant. And the ark was covered, which the ark was a box that was covered with a lid. Okay? What am I saying that is relevant? What is the analogy or the connection or the relevancy of this Ark of the Covenant to everything else that I'm saying pertaining to man and woman? Well, here it is. The Ark of the Covenant, the box, the lower part that contains the artifacts of the tablets of stone, the showbread, and Aaron's budding rod, okay, are representative of a woman. And the lid, which covers the ark, represents a man. The ark is not secure at all. The ark is unprotected, and the contents thereof are totally unprotected without the lid. With that lid, the ark is protected, isn't it? The lid serves a purpose. It is the head of the top of the ark. Its purpose is to protect and to cover the ark. And the ark, its purpose is to contain the important treasures within. They both serve a purpose. One's purpose is just as important as the other. So are the purpose of a man and a woman. The man's purpose is to have the agenda. The man's purpose is to hear God, to be close to God, and to be the head and the top and the covering. The woman's purpose is to contain and to facilitate her covering. Just as the box of the ark, its purpose is to facilitate the covering. The purpose of the covering is to cover and to protect the box. Now, what is going to finish this off is this. Today in our society, the Ark of the Covenant has been turned upside down. How has it been turned upside down? Well, the woman is now being put in the position of the head, being on top. And the lid, the covering, the golden lid with the two cherubim and the wings are being put at the bottom. The lid is on the bottom and the box is on the top. And the feet of the box are sticking up in the air. The feet that support the bottom are sticking up in the air. Because church people, we're out of order. Now, I don't care how mad this makes you, women or men. Either you believe the Bible or you don't. Either you believe God or you don't. Either you are a Christian or you are atheist or you believe some other religion. But you can't say that you are a Christian if you believe that the woman is supposed to be in charge of the man. You can't believe God. That's not God's order. God didn't create that. And because of that, we are out of order. And God is not going to bless disorder. And I don't care how good it seems and how right it seems and how good it seems to be functioning. Somewhere along the way, you're going to lose. Somewhere along the way, disorder is going to bring dysfunction and a malfunction in the life of the people that commit it. One of the worst things that any man can tell a woman, and it always has been this way, is a woman needs to stay in her place. Now, what's wrong with that statement is people automatically think that the place of a woman is beneath and below. When, in fact, a woman is a treasure that needs to be protected. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be done. Most women worry about things that they shouldn't even be worried about. Half of a woman's worries and concerns wouldn't even exist if they would give back the authority that they have to their husbands. They worry about things they shouldn't even be worried about. They make things priorities that they shouldn't even be worried about. Women make mountains out of molehills. And if they wouldn't even worry about that thing and would only worry about what their husband authorizes them to do, if they wouldn't create their own agenda, but would subscribe to their husband's agenda and understand that as long as they fulfill their husband's agenda, they don't have anything else to worry about. Half of their problems, their worrations, their mental stress, their anxiety, their bipolar disorder, their schizophrenia, their paranoid delusion, all of these mental illnesses that have become so popular today, if a woman would allow the man to be in the position that God created him to be in, and if she would be content to take the rightful place that God created her to have, half of her problems wouldn't even exist, because she wasn't created to carry those burdens. I was. A man was, not her. A man. The strategy is supposed to be devised by me. She's supposed to advise, but I'm supposed to authorize. She's supposed to suggest, but I'm supposed to authorize and sign it and make it law, not her. And where a man is willing, qualified, able, submitted to God, walking upright before God, where a man is a priest and he is a protector and he is a provider, there is no reason why that woman should be running everything. No reason. No reason at all. She is out of order. And until she gets in order, all the needless pains she will bear. All because she does not carry everything to God in prayer. She's out of place. She's out of place. She's out of order. And if the man's primary duty throughout the day and throughout his life is to make sure that he does not make that woman angry and upset that woman, he's out of order. If he can't tell that woman the truth, and if he can't give that woman any orders, and if the relationship is set up to where the only one who can dictate and give orders is the woman, and this woman can't follow any orders, the marriage is out of order. It's out of order. And it will not bring forth the fruit that it was created to bring forth. No, it might stand until death do them part. But it will not be as successful as it could have been had these two individuals, the husbandman and the bride, the bridegroom and the bride, the lid of the ark and the box of the ark, gotten into their rightful place. Amen. Amen.